Hello and welcome back to White Lines Football and welcome back to the White Lines Football podcast. Yes, we are back. We are back with a podcast just in time for the World Cup. Now, obviously, it is Thursday. The usual podcast day is Tuesday and that will continue starting next week. But this week, we had a couple of problems getting the filming, etc. done for the podcast. So this week is up on a Thursday, but it will continue every Tuesday. The podcast will be up. So it is obviously Lewis here today going solo for the start of the 2018 World Cup in Russia. We've waited for it for ages. The hope is on England. Can they bring football home? We will wait and see in due course. But obviously for the foreseeable future, we're going to be talking about the World Cup. So obviously today it is the World Cup preview. We will start in the group stages as any reasonable preview would, because we're going to go through every single team and look at where their strengths and weaknesses are and see what we think they can do in the World Cup. So we will start in Group A, and it is with the hosts, Russia. Now, Russia with Saudi Arabia, also in Russia's group, are the two lowest ranked countries in the World Cup. Russia obviously got automatic qualification because they host the World Cup, and that will play a big role. Obviously, you've got the likes of Putin, who's going to be at the first game, obviously doing a speech, etc. You've got the Russian hooligans, but focusing on football more, they're going to have the support of the country, support of the nation, and obviously you can go far with the backing. We know, obviously, home advantage, etc., in the football game, and Russia will be hoping they can put that in the locker and help them. Obviously, at the end of the day, it is a football game, so if Russia come up against maybe Brazil or Germany, obviously they're not going to win because of the fans backing. That's not how it works. And I think in this group, it probably is between Russia and Egypt for second. Obviously, the top two go through. And I think Russia do have quite a good chance of going through. But the team I expect to win this group is Uruguay. We know the talent they have. They obviously did really well in the last World Cup. They obviously have the likes of Suarez, Cavani, Suarez with a handball, all that good stuff. But we know they have the likes of Suarez, as I said, and Cavani. They've got a good core. They've got Godin, obviously Atletico Madrid, and they're a good side. Obviously hosted the first ever World Cup, and you probably expect them, I don't know if they'll get as far as previous tournaments, but you probably would expect them to go on and win the group and progress into the knockout rounds of the World Cup. Obviously in the last one, breaking England's hearts somewhat in the group stages. Also in this World Cup, in Group A, we have Saudi Arabia. Now, like I said, with Russia, they are the they are the two lowest ranked countries in the tournament. And Saudi Arabia, obviously, they've not been in the World Cup for a while. They do try and move the ball well. They try to get it down and play. But they don't have that much quality. The opening game actually is today, Saudi Arabia against Russia. That'll be done by now. The game will be done, so we'll see how that went. But the thing with Saudi Arabia, they do try and get the ball down and move it, but they're not great defensively. They're not very well disciplined. Teams often get in behind for the pullback, etc., etc. But we'll see how they go. They've got decent players. They've got a few goal scorers in there. But we'll see how they do. I wouldn't expect them to get out of the group, but they could bring a surprise. The final team, who I think will compete with Uruguay for second in the group, is Egypt. And at the minute, the one thing you think of when you think Egypt is is Mo Salah. Obviously, he's the main talking point building up to the World Cup. For everyone, maybe not just Egyptians. With Egyptians, I'm sure their lives have been on the line, hoping. But Mo Salah obviously went off injured in the Champions League final against Real Madrid. But he's expected to be fit for their opener against Uruguay. Jurgen Klopp, obviously Salah's club manager at Liverpool, has come out and said that Mo Salah is the focal point. Salah came out, I believe, and said that Klopp told him he was the focal point of the team, and obviously that's why he scored 40 goals in the Premier League or for Liverpool last season just gone. And if he's the focal point for Liverpool, there's absolutely no reason why he wouldn't be the focal point for Egypt, where his talent is miles ahead of the players that Egypt have got. Obviously with Liverpool, they've got other quality players, and Salah's still the focal point in Egypt. They've got a few decent players, but Salah is obviously going to be the main man. I think he'll be licking his lips at the looks of Russia, Saudi Arabia, their defenders. Saudi Arabia especially getting experience against Salah's sort of talent. But in terms of Egypt, they do have decent players elsewhere in the squad. You know, they've got like Sam Morsey, who plays for Wigan. They've got El Mohammadi, Mohamed El Neni, etc. of Arsenal. So they do have decent players. I'm tipping overall in this group. I'm tipping Uruguay to win the group, and I think Egypt will come second. I think Egypt versus Russia will be the decider. I think Uruguay will probably win all three, and then I think Egypt and Russia will both beat Saudi Arabia, and then it'll come down to Egypt versus Russia to decide who takes second spot in Group A. So that's Group A done. We'll move on to Group B. The first team we have to talk about here are Portugal. You know, a lot of people forget they're the European champions from 2 years ago. You know, they're not considered favourites by any stretch of imagination, but they weren't at the Euros. Beating France in the final in France. Obviously, the focus on Ronaldo, but they do have talent elsewhere. We know this. João Mario, Bernardo Silva, João Moutinho, etc., etc. You know, Ronaldo is a big focal point. He loves Portugal. And when you have a player like that in your squad, he can do very special things. Second in this group, who will probably be favourites for this group, is Spain. Now, obviously, they have just sacked their manager after he agreed to join Real Madrid after the World Cup, after Zinedine Zidane left the Spaniards. But he didn't tell Spain. So Spain said, basically, it's not the Spanish way. You know, you're off. You know, savage, and I respect that. So they've got a new man in. They've got a new coaching staff in altogether. And, you know, does it affect the team? You know, if you put it in England's shoes, if England sacked Gareth Southgate now, just days before their World Cup opener, that would affect the team. It just would. You know, I know the playing style is not going to be too much different for Spain. They're obviously going to find someone as similar as they can. But obviously it affects it because it's not his squad. It's not the same manager. You know, the man management is going to be different. So for Spain, that might affect them. I've got Spain in the sweepstake with my friends, so I'm really hoping that they can go far. But obviously it is a different Spain squad to the one that conquered the world, so to speak, almost a decade ago, winning 2 Euros and a World Cup in a row. Still have the best goalkeeper in the world. You know, at the time it was Iker Casillas. Now it's David De Gea. They have good defenders. You know, they've got the likes of Azpilicueta, you know, Jordi Alba, Sergio Ramos, Gerard Piqué, that Barcelona Real Madrid connection, who hate each other for their clubs, but really good together for Spain. They have a different midfield. You know, you're going to have the likes of Busquets, but, you know, is Iniesta going to play? You've got David Silva, Thiago, Isco, Koke, those sort of players. And who's going to play up front? Is it going to be Iago Aspas? Is it going to be Rodrigo? Is it going to be Costa? No, it's not going to be Costa. But yeah, that's Spain's squad. I think Spain are going to win the group, and Portugal are going to come second. And then you obviously have the likes of Morocco and Iran. You know, not happy with Iran because Navi Nasseri didn't go. But yeah, we'll see if they can spring a few surprises. But I do expect Spain to win the group and Portugal to come second. So we move into Group C, and we start off with one place, which is France, the top seeds in the group, and they just have an abundance of talent, don't they? You know, tipped by many to go all the way, as they were in the Euros, but they weren't as impressive, came second. But you only have to look at who they've left out, the French squad, you know. Got like Rabiot, Martial, Lacazette. Obviously, Benzema's not there for other reasons, but the talent not at that World Cup for Russia is a joke. How many of them would you take in the England team? I think the question is, can Deschamps get the best out of the squad? You know, it's his last chance to do it because this is France's chance to win something. I think if France don't go all the way or don't get too far, Deschamps will probably leave. Obviously, Wenger's being tipped, you know. Wenger's not got a club or a squad. Could Deschamps leave and then Wenger come straight back in? That is a possibility. But, you know, you've got the likes of Hugo Lloris is probably going to play in goal. You've got the same Barcelona Real Madrid connection at centre-back with Umtiti and Varane. You know, you've got like Kante, Pogba, Matuidi, Anton Griezmann, Dembele, Mbappe. Obviously, Mbappe picked up an injury, but we'll see if he's fit for the game, their opener. But yeah, France. I'd like to see them do well. Obviously, not as well as England, but I don't know. Deschamps, he doesn't fill me with faith. I think he's sort of really underachieved with France, but we'll see how they go. I expect them to definitely win the group, but rest of them, Australia, also in that group, they've got a decent team. You know, Australia. They've got Matthew Ryan, Aaron Moyaleki, etc. Some Premier League experience in there. A good core. Obviously, Tim Cahill's still there. I don't know how much of a role he'll play. He doesn't have a club at the minute. But Australia, they're all right side, and they've got a chance to get out of the group. With the two others in the group, if you expect France to win it, we've then got Peru. We've got Farfan back, the captain. You think they'll struggle? They haven't qualified for the longest time out of anyone in the tournament, but it should go out of pride. I went to see England versus Peru many years ago, and England won 3-0, walked them. But they want to give it a good go because they haven't been at the World Cup for a very long time, and Denmark as well, who are the other side. They rely heavily on Christian Eriksen, obviously at Tottenham, linked with Barcelona. They've got shirts out that says, "Pass to Eriksen, did he score? No, all right, pass to Eriksen again," etc., etc. They've got decent defenders with Kjær and Christensen, who's obviously broke through at Chelsea this season. Obviously, they beat Ireland to qualify. So, some fans, do you like Denmark because of that? Do you want as many British teams at the World Cup, or say British teams? It's not Northern Ireland, but local. I don't know if I say local, but local teams at the World Cup. Or do you just want England to be there? That's what I like. They should get out of the group, Denmark. They should get out of the group. I think it'll probably be between Australia and Denmark. Australia have a really good chance, but I think it'll be France and Denmark to get out of Group C. So, we will move on to Group D, where, first off, we have Croatia. I think the thing that stands out with Croatia is they have an incredible midfield, Modric, Kovacic. I can never pronounce it. You saw in Life of Panini, I couldn't pronounce it. But obviously at Real Madrid, the duo. And then Rakitic as well. Got likes of Mario Mandzukic up top, Dejan Lovren at the back. So they have a good core there. They're a good side, Croatia. You would expect them to get out of the group. Would they be runners-up to Argentina? Obviously, they got thumped by Germany recently. They're not really a well-oiled team, but it's Sampaoli's first chance at the tournament. Messi's last chance, actually, because, he came out of international retirement. Is it his last chance to be considered the greatest of all time? Who knows? But good players have been omitted, like Icardi. I don't like the look of this Argentina side as much as people are hyping them up. Obviously, runners-up in the last World Cup. But I think they'll... I'm torn between Argentina and Croatia to win the group. I'll go with Argentina just because of the quality they have, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Croatia win the group. And the other two... first off, we've got Nigeria. Sorry, I just merged the two. Iceland. They shouldn't really get out of the group, but like we've seen before, they have no limits. Obviously, knocking England out, going far in the Euros. Now they're at the World Cup. Who knows if they can pull a few surprises at the biggest tournament on earth? And then Nigeria, who actually have some good names in there. The likes of Victor Moses, who plays a lot further forward for them than he does for Chelsea. They have Iheanacho, Moses Simon, Iwobi, etc. They've got a nice kit. They're not very organised, but they've got a good squad. Mascherano came out and said that they throw you off because they're not organised, so how do you know what they're going to do, sort of thing. But I do expect Argentina and Croatia to qualify. I'll go with Argentina to win the group, but I would not be surprised to see Croatia go through. In Group E, this is where the favourites sit, which is Brazil. They have rebuilt since the embarrassment of the last World Cup in Brazil, the absolute thumping against Germany, who went on to win. And they have a good squad. They could easily win it. They're not relying so much on Neymar as they were in Brazil. Obviously, Neymar was the poster boy. But, they've got a good squad. Thiago Silva's in there. There's no David Luiz this time, who captained the side when they got thumped to Germany. You've got Roberto Firmino in brilliant form for Liverpool if he's going to play. If not, you've got Gabriel Jesus, who can come in instead. You've got Felipe Coutinho in the form of his life. You've still got the best left-back in the world in Marcelo. Two quality goalkeepers in Alisson and Ederson. And Brazil are favourites. They're not my favourites, but I would expect to see them go far, especially in the group. To contest with, they have Switzerland. They have alright players, the likes of Sommer, Xhaka, Cher, Xherdan Shaqiri. Obviously, he'll probably be back in the Premier League next season. Could get out of the group. But the people I would expect to get out of the group are Serbia. So they have a good generation this World Cup. You've got the experience of Kolarov and Ivanovic. Then you've got the likes of Matic, Grujic. I can't pronounce his name in Life Panini either. Milinkovic Savic, who obviously we know is a very talented player, linked with heavily been moved to Manchester United. Alexander Mitrovic as well. Serbia, they're a good little side. I like Serbia, and I think they could go far. I'll be watching their progress closely. And then we've got Costa Rica as well, who aren't quite what they were in the last World Cup, obviously winning England's group, going quite far, where the likes of Joel Campbell played well, Keylor Navas impressed, and he got moved to Real Madrid. But they're not quite what they were. I think they'll try and sit back and try not to get broken down. We saw that against England in the friendly, which England ran out 2-0 winners. I expect Keylor Navas to be busy, and I think Costa Rica will come bottom of the group. I think Brazil and Serbia will qualify from this group. Now, Group F is where the holders lie. So, that's Germany. And in my opinion, they have the best squad there. Lowe's a winner, the manager. He's got an abundance of talent at his disposal. I think the emergence of Timo Werner is key. I think he gives them a finisher, that sort of finisher. If he plays, you obviously got the likes of Müller and Klose. They've relied on former World Cups. Müller's there, but will Werner play a key role? The likes of Mesut Ozil, Julian Brandt, etc., etc. And then you've got the likes of Boateng, Hummels, Neuer, who's gone as well. Is that on Farron stage? And obviously Neuer's going to play, but whatever, we'll see. Germany, I think obviously they're everyone's bets to get out of the group. Bets for the whole thing for a few people. Obviously the omittance of Leroy Sané is a big thing. A brilliant player. I don't know why he's not gone, but I think a lot of expectation lies on Germany for this tournament. Maybe not so much for Mexico. It'll be an achievement for them to get out of the group. They've got the likes of Hernandez, Vea, Dos Santos, who they probably will rely on heavily, and they will be competing with Sweden and South Korea. Obviously, we know South Korea can be exciting at times. Sweden, Zlatan didn't come out of retirement for the World Cup. I think that overshadowed their progress a little bit, them qualifying. But yeah, they're the four in the group. I think my predictions... It's not a great group, is it? My predictions to qualify will be Germany and Mexico. And now let's go on to the big one, Group G. So first off, we have Belgium, who still have their golden generation at their disposal. The likes of Lukaku, Hazard, Kevin De Bruyne, Jan Vertonghen, Toby Alderweireld. But the problem is Roberto Martinez is at the helm. He's there with Thierry Henry. I don't think Martinez is a great manager. Players are already falling out with him. Kevin De Bruyne has questioned him, etc. Looks like he's going to go with back three in this tournament, go toe-to-toe with England. I think it's just trying to get the best out of them with Meunier, Vertonghen, Vermaelen, Boyata, etc. all in the defence, and then Kevin De Bruyne playing a little bit deeper. You've got the likes of, like I said, Lukaku and Hazard further forward. But we'll see how they go. A lot of people predict them to go all the way, but I can't see it with Martinez at the helm, personally. And then we have England. Obviously, we know all about them. We know all about England, the home country. 2 years ago, everyone starts off with the whole, screw this, like, we're not going to get up for this tournament like we do all the others. Then we qualify and people are like, yeah, I'll watch it. And then everyone's suddenly got their hype up, But I think, to be fair, Gareth Southgate, although everyone branded him a yes man when he came in, he's got fresh tactics. He's gone to the back three, which is not what every other England manager's done. He's changed it up. I saw his first game in charge against Lithuania, like proper game in charge, and he went with a 4-2-3-1, as every other manager has under the sun for England. But he's gone with the back three. He thinks it's adapted to work in any situation. I think the 11 we'll probably see against Tunisia in the opening game. I think probably Pickford in goal, then it'll be Walker right centre back. That's another thing out of Southgate's gun. We'll see John Stones. I think we might see Cahill, but I'll probably go with Maguire. It's going to be Trippier right wing back, Rose at left wing back, Henderson or Dyer hold him. It'll probably be Henderson, but I'd go with Dyer. And you've got Lingard and Ali in front, and Sterling and Kane. And that is an exciting team. There's no doubt about it. I think England have got the better of Belgium in this group. I really do. It's going to be a good game, but I think England have got the better of them. You don't look at the other two teams, Panama and Tunisia, and think England is going to struggle against these because we can score goals. We've got the likes of Harry Kane, who's an excellent choice as captain, by the way. And I think we're going to do all right in this tournament. And you've got Tunisia, who obviously England facing their opening game. They're a footballing side. They try to play football, which is fair enough to them. There's a lot of pressure on Khazri up top. And then Panama, who are the worst team in the group of the four, I'd say. But to qualify, I think the obvious prediction is England and Belgium. I think England will top the group. And we'll see how far England can go. Just imagine how mental it would be if England won the World Cup. Like, just imagine, everyone would be smashed out the Reds. And then Group H, the final group, we have Poland, Senegal, Japan and Colombia. Poland, I think they've got a more all-round squad than they have before in the previous tournaments. Euro 2012 when they hosted it, etc. They've still got Lewandowski, who, when nations have that one incredible talent like Portugal. I know you've got other players outside Poland. I'm trying to think of nations like Aubameyang or England of Kane. No, sorry. But you've got Poland with Lewandowski, but they do have a more all-round squad than before. As I said, you've got Bednarek, who's played for Southampton. You've got Glick, who's obviously been at Monaco, Zelensky, Milic, all talented players. And they are in contention to top the group. I think they'll probably compete with Colombia for that. I don't think there's as much hype as with Colombia as the last World Cup, where obviously they did really, really well because of the likes of James Rodriguez. James Rodriguez, he's still a really good player. He's been all over at Bayern Munich. He's going to go. You've got Davinson Sanchez, you've got Juan Cuadrado, Falcao, etc. There's still some expectancy. A lot of people are saying, Colombia are dark horses, but there's not as much expectancy as them to do well as last time. I think they'll probably top the group. Japan as well. They can play exciting football, but I don't think there's that much talent there. Senegal, they have some top stars. I think the main ones are Koulibaly and Sadio Mane. They could get out of the group. It's their second ever World Cup, that's it. I believe the other one was in 2002. But obviously there's expectation on them. Koulibaly to organise that defence. Mane to play like he does for Liverpool. But we'll see how it goes. I think Colombia will top the group and Poland will come second. So, overall, my predictions for the groups. Group A, I got Uruguay and Egypt to qualify. Group B, I got Spain and Portugal. Group C, France and Denmark. Group D, Argentina and Croatia. Group E, Brazil and Serbia. Group F, Germany and Mexico. Group G, England and Belgium. And Group H, Colombia and Poland, which I believe would leave us playing Poland in the next round. So, my overall predictions, where should I start? My winners are going to be Germany. You got Lowe at the helm. He's a freaking winner. He just is a winner. I know they didn't win the Euros, but he's such a good manager with such a good squad. It is insane. The likes of Kimmich. You look at their just defence. Neuer, Kimmich, Boateng, Hummels, Hector. Give me a break. And whoever else they want to play in there as well. And then you've got the likes of Ozil. You've got the likes of Brandt. Sane has been left out of quite a lot. The man who has just won Young Player of the Year. The man who has just won the Premier League. And he's missing. So, yeah, Germany have such a good squad. They got like some Müller. I think Werner's going to be vital if he plays. If they do include him, he'll score goals. And that's why I've gone with Timo Werner to be... Oh, excuse me. It's been a long week. Timo Werner to be the top scorer in the World Cup. Probably get 6 or 7 if Germany go all the way. Of RB Leipzig. And that is also why I've gone with him to get player of the tournament. He's going to score the goals to win Germany the tournament. Obvious as that. Runners up Brazil. I've gone with Brazil. They have a good squad. On that side of the draw. Neymar, obviously, if he's firing, etc. Firmino, Jesus, etc. We'll see what happens with that. And that's why I've gone with also Alisson for the Golden Glove. Obviously, he's at Roma, keeping Manchester City's Edison out of the team. He's a good goalkeeper. Brazil have a good defence, but then again, don't be surprised to see Neuer win it. So it's a very Brazil-Germany dominated prediction for me. But I did want to talk a little bit about England. I've gone out and bought the England shirt today. I think a few people are actually expecting it now. I think a few people think we can go far with the likes of Mbappe getting injured, Spain changing their manager. I think people are maybe not expecting to win it, but they're thinking, this is our year, etc. And I think, with Southgate's, if we look at the last World Cup, the sort of setup England had, I went to the last England game before the World Cup 2014, and the team was Joe Hart in goal, Glenn Johnson right back, Gary Cahill, Phil Jagielka, Leighton Baines at left back, and then it was Steven Gerrard and Jordan Henderson, Adam Lallana on the right, Wayne Rooney, Welbeck and Sturridge, and I think Sterling came in just after that. Obviously scored that ghost goal against Italy. Sterling came in for the first game against Italy. And I think with the setup England have got, the back three has been revolutionary in the Premier League at the minute. Kyle Walker moving to right centre-back, teams have done it, like Nacho Monreal playing centre-back for Arsenal, Cesar Azpilicueta playing centre-back for Chelsea. It's decent, and Walker's got the pace. If anyone that wants to get in behind, shift across to right-back anyway, etc. I think John Stones is a good passer off the ball. Kieran Trippier is going to play right wing-back over Trent Alexander-Arnold probably. Rose and Young are fighting for left wing-back. You've got Dyer in there, Henderson, who they're going to fight for the CDM role. And then you've got the creative flair of Ali and Lingard, which I think is a great combination, playing a little bit deeper than usual, Ali especially. And Sterling just off Kane, or Sterling up top of Kane. You've got the likes of Rashford to come in, Vardy to come in, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And it's just an exciting time. I'm excited to be an England fan. It's the most excited I've been for a while. We'll see how far we go, because, we've got a lot of talent in that squad. And I'm sure we could beat anyone on our day. We'll see. It's exciting. Obviously, the first game's today. It's kicking off in a bit. I'll know the result by the time it's uploaded, but I won't know the result at the minute. So we'll see how Russia versus Saudi Arabia goes. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure everyone is looking forward to it. The World Cup is here. Summer of football. The whole nation getting behind England in the pubs with your family. Who could not be excited? So that is the first World Cup done. World Cup podcast done. I just want to talk a little bit about our competition on White Lines Media. So obviously you heard me predict my winners, runners up, top scorer, player of the tournament, and Golden Glove. Where am I? I went with winners, runners up, top scorer, player of the tournament, Golden Glove. So I went with Germany for winners, runners up Brazil, top scorer Werner, player of the tournament Werner, Golden Glove Alisson. We're running a competition where if you can predict all 5 of those perfectly right, for free on Twitter, you get £50. It's as easy as that. It's free. All you have to be doing is subscribe to WhiteLinesFootball and be following White Lines Media on Twitter to be entered and give us your predictions for those 5. If you get it right, you win £50. Easy as that. Obviously, you get more if you put £1 on it or whatever on betting, but this one's free. Why not give it a go? So head over to Twitter at White Lines Media and quote the tweet. It's not too far down the timeline, and see who you think, or let us know who you think will win all of those individual competitions, and you could win £50. Easy as that. But apart from that, it is time to end the podcast. So thank you very much for listening. Who isn't excited for this World Cup? I know I am. Obviously, England kick off later next week, but first game is today. It's here, the World Cup 2018. So thank you very much for listening. I hope you did enjoy it. Please remember to like, subscribe, check out all the stuff in the description, all the socials. Like I said, get on that competition. All our channel partners, obviously Reece Parsons, Matt, Ben, League One Podcast Boys. Check all of them out. Links in the description. Thank you very much for watching, listening, etc., etc. I will see you next time. Goodbye.